Do you want to know what happened last night?
You don't want to know what happened last night.
What was wrong with us? So we just sat down and watched 8 hours non-stop of this show.
Yes.
8 hours is like a full-time job. We were like, it was in the middle of the night. We were awake.
Everyone was asleep. Oh my god, until 4:30.
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong with us. I don't even feel anything right now. I totally numb.
That's so
No?
true, because we just consumed so much of that toxic energy of the show too. So
So true. Yeah, exactly. All these characters. The story was so toxic that just leaves a very bad impression on you. And imagine like watching that until 4:30 in the morning, like non-stop.
Yes, back to back. Like I feel
We
like
kept
I
saying,
am.
yeah, you kept
Becky.
saying that. You kept saying that you would like, what is it called? That you're gonna fall asleep on this episode.
Oh yeah. We kept saying like this is the one.
This is the last episode that we're gonna.
But we watched. Imagine watching a whole show in a day. I don't know. This was my first time
just
doing that.
been
That's
really.
crazy.
Lots of people do that though.
Oh, by the way, this show that we're talking about is called Vanity Fair. 2018 it came out.
Yes,
But we'll get back
Vanity Fair is just amazing. I don't know how I came to know this show, but when I watched it, it was also like at 11 o'clock. So I binge watched the whole thing until like
morning.
3. Yeah.
Oh my god! But you skipped
Exactly.
some parts because there's no way. you did
because like
11
when
to
you
3.
are watching it at that time, like you just don't understand things.
Yeah, you
when
just see
they're
a boring moment. You're like, fuck no. But
Yeah,
then
the
together.
war, everything. I just skipped all that.
I was
yeah.
thinking, we'll talk about what worked and what didn't work.
Yes.
What happened to your hair? Wow, what made you make this big life-changing decision?
I know. Wow. What
Tell me.
happened?
Seriously.
I'm just,
Crisis.
me, like, yeah, exactly. I just make a decision like that. I don't even give a shit, Just do what I want to do.
Is there like somebody you saw, maybe a character?
No, I didn't even. Okay, for a while I was like, I'm never going to cut my hair short ever again.
Yeah.
Especially since I've been like into these kind of like 1800s women and like Jane Austen and things like that. So I was all about long hair, like romanticism and all that. And I hated short hair. But then again, the fall is coming. And it's like a tradition that I have, Every fall, every October usually, but this time I went a little bit, faster. I welcomed the fall with my short hair. Yeah. One thing that happened was that we had a party, like our neighbor held a party, and it was like a very special thing because they just invited their neighbors and no like family members, relatives, anything, even though they were really close to them. Yeah. So there were like lots of young people and lots of newcomers, in the party. And they just had like lots of food and all that. I didn't drink anything, just one glass.
Of what?
I think it was tequila. It was my first time actually having that.
You did
But
say
it was the
that she wanted
worst.
to have a teeth party with tequila. But this is not the teeth party.
Oh, that's true. This neighbor is exactly the one. Yeah, she loves tequila. That's like her thing, Every time she just talks about that. But I didn't like it. It was too strong, I think.
Oh, yeah. But you only had one shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just
You
a little
felt
bit, yeah. No, I'm very drunk by myself, all the time. So I don't need like that
Regularly.
extra thing. So yeah, when I was there, then they started playing some songs and I started dancing a little bit by the encouragement of the party members. And I did, and they're like all just saying, "Oh my God, you're so great! Like, how many have you been like taking dance lessons and all that?" And it's like, no. When I was like in grade 3, I binged watched like literally all
I
these
know what you're gonna say.
dance lessons of this really like famous Iranian dancer. And he had this dance competition, and I would watch all the competitors and all the lessons that they would give in this show, and I
You
just
would internalize it,
oh yeah,
or you would copy it literally.
I copied it like every
okay.
little move. I copied everything and the tips that they would give. So I just used that. And even though like I was so young, it just kind of ingrained in me. It was what is it called? Like it was carved on my
Yeah.
mind, you know?
Mhm.
So I still had that. And I love dancing too, a lot.
The thing is, dancing is such a good skill to have, and you
Yeah.
are a good dancer. I don't want to like get your ego
Ye-
cooking, but
Do
You are a
that, do
good
that.
dancer.
Yeah, do
But
more of that.
it's just like like you're just all in the moment. You're having
Yeah.
The thing is, when I dance, I feel so self-conscious. Like if there's other people around,
Ah.
I'm just like, don't look at me. My hand is moving weird. And then you watch videos of yourself, and you can't relate,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, please God, why do I not know how to do this? Like I'm just moving, and it looks so bad. I don't know.
It's like this is a thing that I have with Iranian dances. Like
Mhm.
I just kind of mimic what the song is about,
Right.
or like how it feels. So basically, if the singer is singing like really big words, or like is I don't know, singing like really low in a low voice, I do like big movements with my hand.
Oh, okay.
And if it's like a very like fast pace, I do like really fast movements with my hands, or like try to mimic what the artist is saying, like what the singer is saying. I try to make that, like show it, basically. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
What
Like,
I'm imagining is like the singer says,
example-
"My heart hurts," and
yeah. So I just do that. Like I
Oh,
put
you
my hand
do?
on my heart, or I just kind of
Mm.
like, or it says like I'm flying, or like something like that.
Uh-huh.
So I just kind of open my arms and do that. So
Mm.
that's kind of like a way to also go about it, for like freestyling.
Well, I love doing it when I'm alone. That's fine. You know, when you're alone, you
Ah.
can do anything. Just who cares? But in front of people is my problem.
Exactly. That's the thing, especially because all these people were like Iranians, right?
Oh, yeah, and there were guys there too.
There were
Men.
men and guys, yes. And I just didn't want to be pointed at like the neighborhood harlot, you know?
Exactly.
Because I've been like watching lots of these movies and series of the past, and
Uh-huh.
historical movies and things like that, and they're just so quick to make a
Judge,
woman judge
exactly.
a woman as like a drunk and a harlot. I always have that on my mind. I told you even last
Uh-huh.
night, like a drunk and a harlot. I was just thinking,
drunk and a harlot. I don't want to
a
talk to you
drunk
no
and a
more.
harlot.
Walk away from me. But no, you're right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it doesn't matter what they say, but then you just think, oh, what if they think I'm a slut? But you're just dancing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not doing anything
But
bad.
the thing is, if you like dance elegantly,
Uh-huh.
kind of, that would make up for the fact that you're dancing.
I see.
Alone
Elegantly.
on the-
So not like moving your tits or anything.
Oh,
not
yeah,
twerking.
that's true. Yeah, I didn't do that.
Good.
But when it's like families around,
Uh-huh.
it's all about like elegance and things like that.
Mhm.
But then all these kids came around. They're all our age, and they all came like 6 months ago, 2 months ago. They came from Iran, so they're really newcomers, you
Uh-huh.
know. But now we have so many like young people in our neighborhood, so that's pretty good.
Mhm.
And we started dancing, all these kids, and they're just so much younger than me, some of them, but they drank so much.
What
Like,
the hell?
I know, what is going on?
Wow.
And they started dancing. We danced so much until the night, but
Mm.
there were like some people were so loud, and some kids
Uh-huh.
or just want to perform much more and do that. So I didn't like that, but
But you know, there's one thing. I feel
Mm.
like even if you dance really elegantly, and
Yeah.
even if everyone is so nice, the thought always crosses people's minds. Because I remember I was at a party, and this woman was really attractive, and she's dancing and like inviting the guys into the circle, like all the husbands. And so she's just doing her thing, like doing a little belly dance. And you know,
Ooh.
like it was great. She was so good. But in my head, I was like, she's
a whore?
She's a little hoary. And then I would have to like remind myself, what are you talking about? She's just dancing. There's nothing wrong with it.
My dad always said that dancing is like one of the 7 arts of the world, like
Uh-huh.
one of the best 7 arts of the world, something
it
like
actually
that.
is,
Yeah. So I always had that in mind, and there was like no shame in dancing,
Mhm.
you know?
That's great.
even though like other fathers would like tell that to their kids. But like my dad always encouraged it because he says that it's just movement, and movement is so good. It's just so aligned with universe, you know? It's so aligned with everything that nature is about. So it's good. Being still is bad, basically. But dancing is good. Yeah. That's
It
what
does
I've been
feel
doing.
special.
Yeah, so I cut my hair, and the next day I went there and just tried to do that, but
Whoa,
I
you had
didn't
a
have
big
that long
awakening.
hair to I didn't have that long hair to move with the dancing. Yeah, so good.
Nice.
So tell me about yours. What happened?
Mine was so different compared to yours. So I was like a lonely wolf. I wanted to ask you this. What do you think about going to places alone? Like going to cinema alone, restaurants?
Oh, I feel really great about it. I do it all the time.
Me too.
That's good. I don't have anybody to do this stuff with. Yeah. So
because like I feel totally normal doing it. It doesn't even cross my mind that it's weird. But like then my mom called, so I went to Wonderland. I went to Wonderland alone. Yes. And so my mom called. She's like, "Hey, where are you, Wonderland? Who are you with?" I'm all by myself. And then when I said that, like I realized, do I sound like a loser?
Oh, that's like crazy. I've never heard someone going to the.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's kind
Wonderland alone. And you are kind of like on the weird side.
It was weird. Like, and I was wearing just a black sweater. I put the sweater up and I put my sunglasses on. I just looked like a thief at Wonderland. But it was so fun because you know when you're alone, you can do anything you want. You can listen to a podcast, read a book. I had my book with me, like in the line I was reading. It was amazing. Like if you're judging me, you are wrong. It's nice to be alone.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like now, okay, I was at this party, right? And all these women just keep coming like to my mom's, like to our house to just talk to my mom. And I just want to just get out of there or say like, tell them I'm not here, you know, I'm not here.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't want that kind of like gossiping, kind of like talking. And there was this young girl also in like our gathering. I just can't like
yeah, it gets exhausting. Like, I agree with
it's
you.
very exhausting. The thing is, like, one thing I realized this week was the fact that I wonder why people share their deepest, darkest secrets with me all the time. Like, I wonder what on earth qualifies me for you to, like, share your family secrets with me. Like, why would you do that?
You're kind of like Becky. You just get into people's circles and then infiltrate.
But I don't even want to do that. I don't know what happens. Like, people just automatically share everything they know. Like,
everyone. It's not like a few people.
No, it's like, yeah.
Because at least I know I'm an oversharer. I just share.
Well, we are secrets. Like, that's true. I am too. But we're like friends, like really close. But there are people that I'm not that close with, but they still like go out of their way to do that. And I was wondering like, what's going on? This woman is complaining about like her husband, her family, everything to me, like, or saying like these things that she was just talking to me, like not anybody else.
Right.
What is happening?
Something about kindness, maybe interest. You show interest. Did you enjoy it or did you?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I always love to hear people's stories. I love to know about their characters. I love to know about psychology. So I just analyze everything, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I'm like watching people mostly. They say that I'm like quiet. Okay, maybe you don't think so, but I am actually a very quiet and reserved person. They say like always say they complain that I'm a quiet person. But I'm just not quiet. There's like so many things happening in my mind. I'm just watching everyone, you know?
Yeah, and you do come in and say things. It's not like you're just sitting there silently. You know, you wait for your moment and then you say your thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they say you're quiet. Because you're always asking about people, you know? What? They used to say that to me all the time, but I was actually quiet. Like I used to think everyone was stupid. And it was not worth talking to them.
Oh, that's a very guilty pleasure of mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I grew out of it because I realized I am the stupid one. There's so much interesting things going on.
Oh, yes.
But I used to just think nobody likes each other. Why are we talking to each other when I know you don't want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I was a really hateful child. I was like in my teenage years, I was just
me too
wondering what's going on. But it was painful where I just thought, why are you asking how I am? You don't care. You know, that's how God. I felt on the inside. So I just didn't talk to anyone. We're just going deeper and deeper into how lonely and sad my life. But it's not. It's actually amazing.
That's incredible. Yes. Look at these things that happen.
Yeah. I mean, even if you are quiet, I think that's fine. As long as you show interest in the world in some way.
Listen, people are interesting, you know? I used to think that, okay, people are just not worth like that much
Yeah.
engaging with.
Yes.
But no, people are so interesting. They're even much more interesting than I am. Like,
yeah.
you know, when you're always thinking of yourself and think that you're the most important one,
Uh-huh.
it's just not how it is. You know, you're not the most important person or the most interesting one. People are so different. They live different lives. They come from different backgrounds. They have these things that motivated them to do these things, and they have their reasons and their beliefs and their families
and their like what's it called, prejudices against
Yeah,
other
exactly
things.
yeah, they have jealousy,
jealousy.
all these negative feelings and positive feelings, and they're complex and they're cute and they're funny. Humans are so
sweet creatures.
They are very much, yes.
Oh, okay, this is so unrelated and I'm
Okay.
sorry, but you know, yesterday or the day before was the blue moon.
Yeah,
This
I
big-
literally thought it was like a blue moon. I would see
That's what I
that.
thought too. I was totally shocked that it was not. So like
Well,
on Google or like on Instagram,
Yeah.
they have a picture of a blue moon.
Yeah, I think
So
it's a
it's like-
filter.
Yeah. So I was like, what is this? Stepped outside, nothing. It's just a big moon. But you know, it's so significant because the next time we're gonna have 2 moons in a month
What?
is in 13 years. Like 2 full moons, you know?
We had 2 moons.
Like 2 full moons, not like at a time, just 1 moon at a time.
Yeah.
But 2
I was like,
full
oh
moons
my God.
in a month. And so
Did we get another moon?
that
I didn't know.
would be nice.
Yeah.
But so next time this is gonna happen is literally like 14 years or something.
Oh yeah, 13
Or more. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's special
Yeah.
that we got to see it. And guess what? I was in Wonderland the same night that this was happening.
Oh, nice.
I was on a roller coaster and did not know, by the way, this is the full moon thing,
Mm.
but it's pitch dark and I'm sitting beside a 5-year-old. I don't know why this 5-year-old was so brave. Like, and this is a big roller coaster, but anyway, being alone, they put you beside other kids or something. So we're up there and everyone is screaming, of course, but suddenly I get the view of Toronto. It's just, it's night, so all the lights are on. And then a big moon, like literally this big. It was in the sky.
so special.
It was. And then suddenly it felt like everything went silent. You know, I could not hear any screams. I could only hear the wind going. And then we're just going up and down in circles. And I really had like a moment there. It
Oh,
was,
wow.
It was moving. It was
A core memory.
a core memory. That's
Yeah.
right. Mhm.
It was so special then, I guess.
Oh,
I've
God.
never seen anybody like go at night to Wonderland.
That's true.
Was it good? Like you loved it.
I loved it. And it's not hot or anything. I think
Yeah,
next time.
that's the thing, you know. You have to stay in the line, I think, especially in summer when you go. And it's not even open in winter, so
Yeah.
the only time that you can go is in summer.
Mhm.
And that
There-
scene must have been so good.
Oh my God. And there were just so many interesting people in Wonderland too. Like all the people I was paired up with,
Yeah.
they were there with their friends. Oh, so sad. But like they were there with their mom, dad, whatever. And like you would
Yeah.
hear their fights. Like some people would try to sneak into the line. Like it was all so cool,
Wow.
which you could never focus on if you were with your own friends. I feel
That's
like.
true. Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. When you are like alone, you just are aware of everyone around you
Yes.
and of yourself.
Mhm.
And when you're with someone, you just skip so many things. Like you don't even know how you got where you got when
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking to
yeah,
someone and
exactly.
going, yeah.
Yes. And you become
So-
more rude, I've noticed. Because all the
Oh,
people who
yeah.
had friends, they were like bumping into me and
Yeah.
again, it sounds sad. Every time I talk, it just sounds so sad. But like I stood up for myself. I was like, stop. bumping into
Yes,
me.
exactly. Don't do that anymore. Yeah.
But yeah. Mhm.
That's so good though. I admire someone that goes alone everywhere because I do.
Oh, thank you.
So I admire. I have to, yeah.
It's just, I mean, I even went to New York alone and it was just life changing. Like, please go alone to places.
Yeah, and do some self-reflections.
Oh, I thought you were going to say self defense. And I was like, I have been learning self defense.
Really?
I learned a couple techniques. Actually.
How? Where?
Like,
Where
just
did you?
YouTube, you know.
Oh.
But it was like things like, oh, if somebody puts their arm around you, like you twist it.
Oh my god. Do you think these are actually useful? Like in the moment when
That's
it's
the
really
thing.
fast paced? Because
Yeah.
these tutorials are like, if you did that, do this 1, 2. Like in
That's
a
so
slow
true.
motion. It's just not how it is.
And the thing is, you can't even practice it unless you have
Mm-hmm.
somebody to practice on. So, like, you're just in theory, sure, I know what to do.
Yeah.
But in the moment, you're so stressed. And
Exactly.
it's probably not going to help. unless you do it so many times, maybe every day, that it becomes a habit.
You become much faster. It's just that I already like have my brother. My brother is younger than me, but he's taller than me, That's the worst. And he could like literally break me, I'm sure.
Yeah, my brother too, but your brother is at least nice.
He isn't. I trust.
He isn't.
Okay, we are like, when I try to like provoke him a little bit, then he comes and like wants to fight me or something.
God.
It's like, I know, like I just shout because I know I have
me
nothing against him. Yeah, I just have to run away because I know that I can't defend myself. And now imagine like being in the situation and like a grown man. Like,
a man who doesn't even care about you.
Exactly.
Like, this guy actually is your brother. Wow.
That would be like, I'm sure. Well done,
but we will learn. I think it's an important skill, so we got to.
Wait. So I went to Toronto this week, like last week, and with my parents, and we went to this parliament in Toronto. I don't know if it's like actually a parliament. It was like a council of prime ministers.
I think it's called Old City Hall, if I'm not wrong.
No, that's not. No, we didn't go there.
Oh.
That's like that's for the city, That was like the Ontario's.
Okay, so I don't even know which one you
prime ministers and stuff. Like Dockford's office was there. So yeah. Wow. So we went there, and with us was a group of like French tourists. There was like 2 men and 2 women. They were like old people, and they came from Paris. And I talked to them and stuff. That they were so nice, which is very unlike French people, I think.
No, it's a little prejudice.
Parisians.
Oh, okay.
That's what I hear. Like they say, but still, like tourists have to be nice, They have to.
I can't believe tourists from Paris came to visit Toronto. That's a big mistake they made.
They should. I told them, have they gone to Montreal or Quebec as well? But they didn't understand me. I don't know. The thing is, like, at least when you come here, the word Quebec or Montreal should be familiar to you.
That's true.
Even though you don't know English, but they didn't know that. I don't know why.
Maybe they didn't want to talk to you. They're like, this Toronto girl.
No.
Fuck
they
you.
were like, the women didn't know how to speak English, and the guys did a little bit. Yeah, that was kind of.
That's crazy.
And my dad was like, oh my God, these people are so nice and so good. And I was like, yeah, that's true. But like, don't get fooled by these. These are tourists. If you go to Paris, they wouldn't even care about you, Because they're just walking so fast and they're rude as well. Going to work.
I mean, when I was in Paris, I did not have this experience.
Really? Because everybody says that they have that.
But I mean, we also didn't talk to anyone. So you're not wrong. That 2 days we were there, we just didn't talk to anyone.
It's not about that. Like any city that has lots of tourists,
the
people tend to get like a little bit ruder, I think. Maybe. That's true. Like,
but
even
New York
in Iran,
was so nice though. New York, every guy is nice. Every girl, like, they're just complimenting each other in the street.
Oh,
so special.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so good.
Everyone's smiling. Literally, people are like, "Good day, have a nice day."
That's amazing.
So cool.
In the big city, like when you're walking down the street, they say, "Oh, good morning."
This is true.
You don't even get to see that in Toronto, like downtown.
No, not at all.
The last time I said good morning to someone just passing by in the street was like in Newmarket, in like a suburban, in a suburban like city.
Yeah, in Toronto, no one looks at each other. They just literally look ahead, and if you do look at someone, it's as if you're low class or something. Like, you have to be focused on your own work or read a book, like read your phone or something.
Oh yes, that's so true. Yeah, and then last night we had a sleepover.
We cooked some fish.
Yes, some Korean food.
Oh, yes.
Or like
amazing.
Asian. Yes, so delicious. Very good. We did that and then watched the Vanity Fair because I've been talking about that for a while and we really wanted to do that. We wanted to watch this series. It's really worth watching because it's very different than any series that you've watched, like any historical series that you have watched.
And I feel like once you do watch Vanity Fair, it'll be hard to go back to the other series because it's so fast. It is not, there's no somebody walking and you just watch them walk to the trees or like a girl and guy like walking alongside each other and like flirting and laughing. There's none of that. It's just quick. The whole series.
That's true.
It will make you really yearn for modern movies, I feel like, instead of going back to
I see.
watch more of that period.
Yeah. And also, okay, so this is what Vanity Fair is about. First of all, it's a novel that has been adapted a lot. There are so many adaptations of this Vanity Fair novel. The one that we watched was in 2018. It's very good. It's about a young woman named Rebecca Sharp, or nicknamed Becky. She is like she's an orphan that is like now has to be like a governess of two daughters of this lord, and she's just a poor girl. She's an orphan. She doesn't have anything, and she wants to climb the social ladder and kind of like gain power and influence.
That's what makes the show interesting, because what do any of us want is to make our way into the highest level of society. It's like, okay, that's what I want to do with film. I want to be with the best of the best. I'm sure you want to be with the writers. So then immediately you connect with this character. You're like, oh, I want you to succeed. You're coming from nothing.
Yeah.
I want you to get to the best places. Oh, and does she do crazy things?
She does.
Too far.
She goes too far. Like at first, I know I kind of disappointed you because you were waiting for some romantic thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, you wanted
no romance. Like there was hints, but
there was no
2 kisses.
Romance. Yeah. It's like not even that wasn't even romance. Like there was no love.
Yeah,
there.
You're right. Yeah.
It was too shallow for that. And it's very quite like it's so interesting that you went to Wonderland and then watched Vanity Fair as well.
Oh yeah.
They're
so
just
the vibes are right. Yeah. I love this guy, Michael Palin. You know, Monty Python, writer, actor. I was just literally telling Anna, I was like, yes, this guy went to Oxford to study English. It's so cool. Yeah. And that's it. Like we didn't know we were gonna watch Vanity Fair, and then as soon as it starts, I'm like,
he's the narrator.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so cool.
It's a good coincidence.
Wow, yeah. And he was very good too. Like he kind of made that suspense and excitement.
Yeah, his face is so sweet.
Yeah.
And Becky's face, the main character's face, is also so sweet.
She is Olivia Cook. Yeah.
Yes. She has like these hazel eyes. You just get lost in her eyes.
She plays with her eyes so good.
Yeah.
Like she can actually act with her eyes. Very expressive. I love that. And also it's about the story of, well, the thing is that Vanity Fair is so famous for it not having a hero. And it's just an immoral, shallow world that everybody lives in and strives basically as, quote unquote, in the movie they said, everybody strives to have what's not worth having.
That was exactly. So every character is an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Nobody is good except one. Literally from the hundreds, there's like one guy who's kind of good. Yeah. But still, you're so invested, I feel like, for the most part, in watching these people, even though they're so disgusting. Yeah. Like there was characters where I just thought, I did tell you, I wish this character would die already. Like, what are they doing here? But still.
Exactly.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you watch these like period movies and period dramas, and everybody is just about virtue and morality and all these things, you know, they care about that a lot. True. And this was like the opposite of that. So far away from this. So if you watch like Jane Austen,
sorry to interrupt, but it's not like just watching them have sex or like start swearing at each other.
No, not in that way. Like immoral kind of like
immoral actions.
Yes, it's not Bridgerton. You know?
Yes.
Even Bridgerton is like so virtuous compared to that. I would say, like, okay, imagine like they were married when they were doing anything that they were doing.
Yes,
or whatever the thing is. Like it was just love, you know. But this is like so selfish. Like it was such a devilish, you know, kind of like
I agree with
world.
Because for example, let's say Pride and Prejudice, a favorite on this
podcast. My favorite
is these characters each have moral dilemmas. One of them is prejudiced, one of them is prideful, but each has these values in their life that they live by.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm gonna be nice to my family, or I'm gonna hold this lady's hand like as I walk, or I'm not gonna look in their eyes. None of that here. Every character is a monster, is an animal fighting.
That's so
for their
true. They're
instinct.
so low level, you know?
Yes.
They're just surviving. Like literally the main character, Becky, says that she's like a survivor, you know?
Yeah,
That's
true.
how she learned to be a survivor. So this woman is so interesting because she uses men as a way to like climb up the
Mhm.
social hierarchy. And she's very smart too.
Not even just men either. She uses
women.
yes,
Men.
like getting close to people with positions of power
Yeah.
and making them trust her.
Yes, that's so true.
But definitely also men.
We were talking about that. So the thing that is very special about this Becky girl
Mhm.
is the fact that she is like able to actually look at someone and think of like what they need, what are their desires, like what do
Mhm.
they actually want, and give that to them. So she watches someone and sees that this person craves like attention and affection about something,
Mm-hmm.
or like wants some boost of ego and stuff like that
Yes.
because nobody cares about them and treats them like an invalid. So she treats him really specially, you know? She shows interest in his work and what he's doing for his life and all that. Even though it's like very pathetic thing that he does, but she just makes it really big and she makes a hero out of this guy. And this guy just feels like, oh my God, I have to provide for her, you know? Or she shows
so
herself
true,
as like this weak girl that is like
Uh-huh.
that. She treats
calculated.
everyone differently
Yes.
based on like what they need.
She's just like such a good character to study because
Mm.
every move she makes is so calculated. It's
Oh, yeah.
from a look she does to a hello she says or doesn't say. It's all
Yeah.
decisions that she's made. So I feel like you learn so much. Not only you learn how to act in real life to like either attract someone or make something cooking, but also it's just for learning character
Oh.
arc.
It is. No, that's true. Like you learn. Okay, even though if you don't use these things,
Mhm.
you at least are going to watch out if anyone
That's
is
so true.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to-
So that's good to not be naive, of course, all the
Mhm.
time. Like, she was like a manipulative girl, so it's good to look out for these signs in people if you like
Yes.
everyday people if you see it.
So maybe one thing to look out for is somebody who keeps bringing up their disadvantages.
That's true. Like she kept bringing up this card of her being an orphan and like a lonely woman and like poor.
Yes.
All the time, like over and over, she would
Mhm.
do that. Every time like someone confronted her, she would be
That's
like,
true.
"Yeah, oh my God, I'm like a weak woman.
yeah.
I'm a weak woman. How could you like do that to such a
Mhm.
orphan? Or like, do you think I don't have self-respect because I'm poor?
Yeah, because my dad was a painter.
Yeah, and making everyone guilty. Like that's one of the
that's
methods.
move.
The methods of manipulation.
What was the other thing she used? Like, what keeps coming in my head is the husband.
Yes.
So she gets married so fast and fucks everything up. And then every time the husband is about to get onto her secrets, she just starts like flirting, making out, saying everything will be okay, talking about the future family.
Yes, because she knows that what this guy, like the husband, wants
Mhm.
is like is romance, is love, and like family, and he wants to like provide and stuff like that. She knows that. So every time that she realizes, oh my God, I fucked up this thing, like I said the wrong thing or I did the wrong thing.
Oh yeah.
She tries to like make up with him by saying these sweet words that, oh my God, yes, we will have like this home and it will be always like how you imagine.
Yeah, and you know what's so sad to me? This is the saddest. Is he was so happy. Like he was having the time of his life. He was saying, I've never been as happy as this. I never thought I could be this happy. But all the while his life is literally being ruined by this woman. So you could be in these relationships or friendships where it's all just going to end up really badly for you. But in the moment you think it's so special. And I've had these friendships so many times actually. People are good at like making you feel special in the moment, or I don't know, just that's their skill set. But then they just throw you out as soon as they're done with you. It's so hard to know, like, who do you trust, who do you walk
And
away from?
especially like these people make you addicted
They
to
make you
themselves.
addicted.
Yes. So like they make you feel like you're deluded. Okay, they make you delusional basically, and to think that these are actually your friends or like your lover or like they care about you.
Yeah.
Even though they don't, like there are all these signs are around and everybody can see it, but you're the only one that can't see it.
Exactly. And people told, like, every character that got hurt by this woman, people told them exactly what is going to happen, and still they just choose to ignore it.
The thing is, like, this husband is also not a saint, you know.
Yes, that's true.
If we look him, just like take him out of this context and kind of out of this relationship, he in a person is a reckless, wild man that is like a gambler and doesn't care about the future or anybody in the family. He doesn't care about anyone in his family members.
Yes, that's
he's
true.
selfish. He's a narcissist. You know,
this is true.
Like,
but still, I mean, did he deserve to die all alone?
No. Yeah,
not to spoil. Wow,
that's
but
true.
It was just I mean, how can you make a show? How can you have these characters who are so despicable, but yet you can't stop watching? It's like we were just seduced the same way that all the characters were as well.
That's exactly how I felt. Like, especially, this was my second time watching that, but I was like, I had as much attention to it as like the first time. And I remember the first time that I was watching it, the few first scenes were so captivating in a sense that I just knew something was wrong with this main character, like Becky. Why is she so vicious? At first I was like, okay, maybe like she's been treated really badly in school, so she's like just trying to be rebellious and all that. But then I realized, no, there is something really wrong with her, you know?
Yeah.
And there's like no character that I've seen that is like her. At least not in period dramas. Usually girls are really sweet and they look for a husband, or if they don't, like, it's just that they're really good girls at the end of the day,
but
even
the
if they
thing
have moral problems.
It's like, what did she even want? Like, she just wanted money and power.
But she didn't even use the money.
Exactly. So she's just collecting it. But I guess she was never, you know.
She's just ambitious for power or like the dominance and thing that she has over everyone. She was much smarter than any man that she came in contact with. Like any man that was there. And the fact that anyone... Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. The fact that every man that she was talking to actually was like totally like a pet to her, you know? Like these men were like, at that time, women had like no control at all. And the fact that she had this control over men was like really admirable.
That's the thing. Like, even though she's so toxic and terrible, there is something to admire here. If you think about where she came from absolutely nothing, with parents who couldn't afford anything. She was literally an orphan.
Yeah.
But she was able to get so many powerful people to respect her, at least for a small period of time.
Yeah.
So there's something to admire in that. I think maybe that's why we kept.
That's right. Yeah. I think lots of people thought and said that she has life in her.
Right.
But the thing is that it was like the false kind of thing, because she didn't have life in her. She faked that.
Yeah.
These kind of people can't have life.
Oh, yeah. That's so true.
They fake it and they make it look like they have that liveliness, so people want to attach themselves to them. Like, okay, imagine like a cancer, right? Cancer is just a bundle of cells that are like much that they have been produced much more than they had to, right? So these cells want to eat off you or your body or your energy, you know, because they want to reproduce themselves even more. The same is for another plant that is called cancer in Iran. Yeah, it's like a yellow plant. It's also here. I found it here, but it's called cancer in Iran. So this plant is yellow and it kind of like goes around other plants and eats off their energy.
Oh, wow.
So this this is weird because this plant is not even green at all. So it means that it can't even produce anything. All right? It can't get its own energy from the sun because it's not green, right? So it gets its energy from other plants. And that's the same thing here. You know, all these people just roll around each other and are just tangled with each other. They think they can suck life out of each other, but they just get more tangled. Their lives are just more like intertwined with each other. That's the only thing that happens. So what I'm saying is that, for example, someone sees this lively girl and wants to get life out of this girl, you know, and energy out of this girl. So they are seduced by her. But then like a siren. But then when they actually come really close in contact with her, they realize that she actually had no life. And she even sucked what life I had and what energy I had even to herself, for herself. So that's what she's been doing.
And you know how I know she has no life and in her, like she feels miserable all the time? She was nice to everyone, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Friend, guy, man, lady, whatever. There was one person she wasn't nice to. Do you know?
Oh, William.
One person. Actually, William,
right?
I feel like William, she was like indifferent to.
Yeah.
But there was one person she was like actively mean to.
Who?
And that's her son. That's her own blood.
True.
The only man in the whole show that she was rude to is her own blood. So I think that shows she's also this toxic to herself, you know?
Yes.
That's probably how she talks to herself. And this person being an extension of herself, she just sees as unworthy, unlovable.
Wow, that's such a good point.
But with other guys, she will go to any length to make them feel special, but not for her own son. Oh my God, that was so bad for me.
I felt really bad. Oh my goodness, that's such a good point. Great job for bringing that up. Because I felt really bad at that time when I was watching like how she treated her son. And it's like sometimes you wonder, are there actually mothers like that in the world? I'm sure there are, of course.
Yes. You know,
I don't think anybody should be a mother, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like why was she even I guess she was trying to have an heir, basically. Probably like have a son to later take over. But she never showed any love. Like, we never saw the baby. She would always leave and go to a party, blah, blah, blah. But you would think after going through so much pain and months that whatever came out, you would love them, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I think. But we will never find out. Me and you will never find
Exactly. We were watching that and I was saying, like, if we had kids, we're going to have to make them marry each other. Like, we have to make them engage from birth, you know?
Yeah, we have
just to make their lives miserable.
Exactly.
Because that's what happened in the movie, in the series as well. These characters that have been engaged since childhood. Because the parents were friends with each other when they were young.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Please don't make your kids marry. In Iran, still people do this.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You have like even cousins. I hate this, but like it would be sister has a kid, and you're like, oh, your son is so cute. They have to marry my daughter when they're old. Like there's in a contract.
Yeah.
But why would you even say that?
I know, right? Even if I was there, like somebody would have arranged the marriage for me, like by now.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like all the girls younger than me are married now. Like nobody is there that I know that is not married, except for some city girls that live in like some like I don't know some. What am I even saying? Some of our relatives that live in cities, they're like much less likely to get married in this age. But the ones that live in the village or like small towns,
that's so bad.
They get married so fast.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was actually, this is a little off topic, but I was reading a screenplay called Capernaum. And it's about this boy who's suing his family because they gave birth to him and ruined his life. They gave birth to like 7 kids and didn't take care of them at all. Like, no, didn't even give them a birth certificate. Just gave them water and sugar, no food. And these kids are the ones working, and they married off the daughter at 11. They married off the daughter at 11, and then she died because the guy who's like 30 had sex with her. So this is kind of unrelated. I don't even know how we got on this topic, but the screenplay was really good. Like it made me cry a lot. If you're looking for a bad mother-son relationship screenplay, read Capernaum.
That's crazy. Oh, is it based on like a true story?
The thing is, it's not based on a true story, but a lot of stories like this happen.
Yeah, definitely. Like even our grandmothers, I'm sure, like they've been married off really young.
But it did remind, yeah, exactly. At 19, 18. Which is
not
that
in
young
1918. That's good still.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But they've been like 15, 14.
That's disgusting. It is. And it did actually remind me of Vanity Fair, where it's like, if a character is this disadvantaged, whatever they do is justified at some points. You know, like we don't know how they feel. We don't know how it feels to be disregarded by everyone.
That's
right.
right.
Down on. So
exactly.
It does make you forgive.
For sure. Like it's not even our place to forgive someone or do that. You know, I'm sure if we were in their place, definitely we would have done what they've done. Yeah. There's also this character of Amelia, which is like really interesting, friend of Becky. I love her character. At first, basically, I thought that she was like a really kind character and so different, and she's the hero of the story, if the story should have a hero.
That's right. She's like at the beginning, at least, every virtue that you can think of, she has.
Yeah.
Total kindness. I don't know.
Selflessness.
Yeah,
Selflessness.
But devoting yourself to one person. She has all these, so you're like, oh, this must be the perfect person.
Yeah.
But then you see even this woman.
She's just as shallow as anybody else in that world, you know? Everyone has a problem there in this world. And she's just a product of this kind of like programmings that the family and the society has given her, basically. She has just no thoughts of her own. And she, even like the acts of kindness that she has is not like a genuine, I think, thing that she has come to conclusion or chose to do, but like a product of what her parents and schools and teachers told her to do.
Exactly. Like she's also a product of how she grew up, so we can't blame her for being shallow too, because she grew up in perfect harmony. She had money for everything, living in a castle, and she was told, like she knew who she was gonna marry at a young age, another rich person. Yeah. So she's just living her life with no problems, literally.
Exactly.
And suddenly she grows up and she's crying every day, and we're like, stop crying, bitch. But like, it's fair.
Yeah. The thing I liked most about this series was the fact that it was like just ups and downs, you know?
True.
Yeah, that's how life works.
Yes.
When at first you see that, okay, this Amelia has all the good things in life and nothing can go wrong for her. Why is it so unfair that she should have this family and all this wealth and all that? And Becky should be like a governess, work for somebody else, and should be orphan and treated like this. But then next episode, like everything switches, like flips.
Yeah. Moments later, literally, it feels like. In the grand scheme of life.
Yeah. So true. And then Becky becomes like, she gets like this sponsor, this woman that really treats her well and thinks her as equal, and she's very wealthy. And she supports her. So she brings Rebecca to London, buys all the best clothes, fashionable clothes for her, supports her, and does all these things. And now Amelia has it all backwards, and everything is going down for her. Her engagement is getting ruined. Her wealth and money, her parents' money is just...
That's exactly how it works in life.
Yeah.
From day to day, you don't know.
So true.
How things are going to totally shift. So just don't be an asshole to anybody, because you never know.
Exactly.
Come back to haunt you.
And it just really resembles a roller coaster, you know?
Oh, yeah. This is true.
So nice. I love the contrast of their lives. Like they say it's parallel. Their lives are like parallel, Amelia and Becky. So it's very good to see these things. So
and
nice.
You know, there were
very
so
artistic.
This is true. There were so many deaths in the show Like every episode somebody was dying, but they gave no mind to it. It was like nobody was ever sad that somebody died. They were always thinking about the inheritance and the getting into the house and everything.
That's like their thing, yeah.
They never thought about death. Like they never thought about life. All they cared about was vanity. That's I guess that's what the show's about.
Exactly. And it's like it doesn't even it's like the story is like this, that it doesn't even matter if bad things happen or the good things happen. Like it just doesn't matter. It's all in vain, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just in vain and it's just for fun, and you just have to have fun, you know?
That's a good point. Yeah, and it does end, this whole series does end with them going back on the carousel, and you're like, everything is ruined. You lost your husband, your kid is gone, no one respects you. What are you doing on the carousel? But it's just go have fun, whatever.
Exactly. And the narrator does say that, okay, what is it called?
You're not
supposed to be happy. What are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to. Yeah, but this is the thing about the Vanity Fair. Like, they're just supposed to have fun or
that's what
be shallow.
Because you think, what was the theme of this story? Is it that you shouldn't be vain? That you should like always be virtuous and that's how you will succeed? But no, not even that, because even vain people did find some happiness at the end. I feel like.
But the virtuous one, which was the only character in the whole story that was a little, normal, virtuous. Not normal.
Thought about other people's needs and tried to, without focusing on his own gain.
Yeah, and loved deeply. Yeah.
That was so unrealistic. This guy had a crush on a girl for 14 years. And the girl did not give any sign. Like, the girl was totally friend zoning.
Yeah.
And talking about another guy the whole time. But somehow this guy never saw another girl. That's so unrealistic. And he's so handsome. Like, he could have seen somebody.
That's so true. That's the thing. Like he's not even normal. You know?
Yeah, it's just true.
That's the thing.
He just idealized her.
Yeah, these kind of. Maybe that's the thing. Like, not even these people are going to succeed or get what they want, because he didn't. Even at the end, he didn't get that love back from her. Right?
Yeah, it was just
act.
She went. Yeah, it was an act, exactly. Wow. So what is the message? I feel like the message is you can be vain if it is fun. Just don't forget
that it's all in. But you know what? It's like you should know that you live in this world for a few days.
Oh yeah.
Right. And while you're here, do play with things, but don't take them so seriously. This life is not that serious, and don't put your life on going after something that is not worth having. Like true, that's like exactly what he says in the beginning. So it's like, do have fun, do play with these things that you have. Even go after your ambitions and do these things, but please know that it's all in vain. It's all just shallow and very vanity. Yeah.
And what I loved was the scene where they go to meet the king. So this is her moment where she came from nothing and now she's meeting the king. So it's built up, like she actually looks excited for the first time. She's nervous. And they didn't even show the scene with the king.
Oh yeah, that was such a bummer.
I feel like that's so interesting because it shows like, this moment that she built up for so long, it just passed in a fleeting moment, and now she's back in her own life. Like, who cares that she saw the king?
And immediately, the scene that she actually sees the king, we don't see the king, but it's like a light on her face, like illuminating light that is just coming and makes, like, it gets bigger and bigger. And then immediately after, there's a dark street or a dark house, that there is like no light in it.
Exactly.
And she goes to this man that is like the lord that supported her or invited her to this assembly with the king, who wants to take advantage of her, of course.
So it's like, okay, was
don't
that
take
really
advantage. She also
she did agree to this.
exactly.
but fucking crazy. Like, why would you do that? So you saw the king. At the same time, I am just like this because, like, for example, I like Mark Norman, the comedian. I would go to any length to see that guy, and then once you see him, you're like, okay, are you happy? Did your life change? Like, what, you're gonna go back to writing your screenplay now. So I understand where she's coming from.
Oh.
But it's good to learn. Like, is the moment that you're really running after, is that worth it?
So
Gotta
true.
learn from that.
Yeah, that's like the thing about this movie, this series. It's just, I don't know. I keep thinking about it, every character and everything, and it's just so beautiful. I love satire about society.
Oh yeah.
I love to. There are like so many other poets, Iranian poets as well. Like Hafiz does that too much as well. Like too much. Yeah, it's too much. Don't do it anymore. He's like always making fun of political affairs or like society and what people do and how it's like really in vain and shallow and things like that. Yeah. So there are so many things like this, and it's very good and never gets old, even to this day. Yeah.
That's what, we were actually talking about this. What makes this TV show so special and so watchable and you can learn from it is that each character has this moral issue that they're grappling with. And like their own weakness and their own needs and their own beliefs on what is right and wrong.
Yeah.
And so when these all collide is when what we find interesting, because we're seeing, okay, who do we connect with? And it keeps changing moment to moment,
Yes, that's so true. Exactly. There's like this thing is that the characters, each of them have these moral dilemmas and these moral justifications that they have for every action that they do. And it's like you kind of want to wonder why they did these things and want to know the reason and like what happened, what is their backstory, what happened that made them to do these things. And it also makes you like wonder how to, when you're writing your own story, how to come up with moral issues and moral centers for each character or for the whole story. So
do you want to talk about the chart? I feel like that's very helpful. Okay, I'll just bring it up. Oh, we have so little time. Okay, just really quickly. One thing John Truby says in his book Anatomy of a Story is you take your 4 main characters and then for each of them you go through what their moral issues are, what their desires are, and then you write what their need is. And then you basically make sure each is different so that the central moral problem, which for example for Vanity Fair is, do you search for this moment in vain or do you realize it's not worth having? Then you see like what each character feels about it. And so I think that's really helpful.
So true. Yes, exactly. You gotta start with the main character. You see what weaknesses they have. Weaknesses are in 2 types. They're either psychological or they're moral. Lots of people like get these 2 wrong. I know I still have problem with the distinction of these 2.
That's true.
But the thing is that a moral weakness or a moral challenge or need that they have is something that is about hurting others.
Oh yes.
So it has to hurt others. So if the main character hurts someone, that's like their moral issue in any way, It could be just a look, a way that they talk, something they say, or it could be just a fist fight or whatever. Like they have to hurt someone in the beginning of the story. That's kind of like one of the things that they say as well.
Whereas a psychological weakness is inside a problem that this person has with themselves that's hurting them.
Yeah. So a moral weakness is like the outcome.
Oh, true.
A psychological weakness is like the income of like what happened in their past that made this effect on them, that they can now act in this immoral way or have this moral weakness, basically. So if you want to come up with a moral weakness, just think of or kind of like research more about psychological weaknesses that your character can have or has, basically.
That was such a good point you said, is if you're having problem finding out what the character needs, like what do they need to learn, first come up with what their weakness is. So for example, for Becky, her weakness is that nobody ever respected her.
Yeah.
Nobody ever gave her a time of day. So then her need is for power and dominance.
Yes.
So then it gets so much easier to
And her
find the
moral
needs
weakness is the fact that she hurts everyone in the
in
process.
order to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To get to that power and all that. So that's like, even from the beginning, she hurts everyone. Like the first scene, she hurts that teacher that she has in the school with the way that she talks to her and kind of humiliates her. And you just see and get a sense of her character. So then when you have the main characters' moral weaknesses and moral needs, then you kind of go and think of your other characters that you have. You gotta have like 3 opponents at least, or 3 opponent forces. And then you have your main character as well. So it's going to be like 4 characters that are going to interact with each other, and there's like tension between them because of their different beliefs.
Yes, 4 different corners of what they think about.
Yeah, the center of this moral of the story, basically. The
exactly.
theme, yeah. So what is the theme? You kind of like think. We said that as well, like for example, no, another one, like maybe it's like the theme is that lying is really bad.
Oh yeah.
So someone is going to be like, lying is good as long as I protect my family. Somebody is like, no, lying is not bad because there are no consequences to lying at all. Another person is going to be like, nobody should lie. If you lie, you go to hell. Nobody should do that. And they're going to be like this person that is always preaching and doing that, which is also annoying.
This makes your story so interesting.
Yeah.
Instead of all characters believing the same thing, then it's just preaching.
Yeah, so true. Like you just explore every possible aspect that this moral center can have, like this moral lesson that you want to give. You just explore every possible side of it, and for each side you just create a character. I created my characters just based on this like side of this moral theme that I had. So for example, I thought that, okay, if this is the moral theme and this is a take that you can get from this theme basically, this could be a character. This could be a character's belief.
Yeah, exactly.
So like for example, for me, the story that I'm writing is also all about vanity, like vain, shallow society as well. But it's less on the society, but more like one character's dealing with that, with politicals and religious and basically like sociology, what is it called, like the conditions of the society, like how he deals with these things and how he wants to like live in this kind of world. And it's also about the fact that all the people here are pretending to be moral but are not, and those that are like marked as immoral people are very like maybe so much better and virtuous and much like,
I don't know if people who are marked as immoral are more virtuous, but certainly they could be
like by
not as
society, maybe like there some people that are like marked as not very religious. And
you know what, I have an example. Like for example, let's say a drunk. Everyone's like, oh, this drunk is so stupid, but then the drunk is actually always saying the truth.
Yeah, something like that, exactly. So you could just explore every different aspect of the theme, which is for me is mostly like people are not black and white, and there are so many aspects to people. There are like people are not just good or bad. They have dark sides, and you just have to accept that. This is like kind of the thing that I want to say. And for that, there could be characters that are pretending to be dark but are not. Some people could be like I don't know,
To be dark, but are not.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, so they want to be viewed as being bad?
Yes, but basically they've been like marked by society as that, so they just might as well accept it, and they do. And Yeah, and that's how like they come to terms with it and kind of live. And it's like every character has to deal with these things and has these moral problems, and it's just so interesting to explore these things.
I agree with you. And Vanity Fair did a really good job of it. So
Yeah.
I would recommend, if you're interested in these moral problems getting all tangled up, check out the first episode, okay? And I feel like you will watch all of it
Oh yeah,
in one sitting. It's a good one. It's a good one. But maybe we'll check out the book. We got to read the book and then come back.
Yes,
and
that's
discuss
true.
further.
You know, anytime that I search up Vanity Fair, it's just the magazine comes up, you know?
Exactly.
Vanity Fair magazine. Yeah.
But we got to read the literature. We got to stay cultured.
Exactly.
Can I leave you with one anecdote about
Sure.
Wonderland? So this is actually really motivating and inspirational. So as I said, I was sitting beside kids.
Yeah.
And this kid was behind me. I'm going to say like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And he kept repeating something. So we're on the roller coaster waiting to go. And this guy kept repeating. He's like, never back down. Never give up. Never back down. Never give up. He kept
Never
saying
back down, never what?
Exactly.
Isn't that the one? That's like a famous
I hate
TikTok
that.
thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I didn't know though. So I did not know it's a famous thing. And I was just like, this kid is so motivated for success. Like he never
back
gives up.
down, never what?
Exactly.
Never back down, never what?
And so he kept being like,
Never give
never
up.
back down, never. And I was like, thank you. I did find him annoying a little bit because he kept saying it. But then once we got out of the ride, I was like, there's no way this kid was just like trying to motivate us all. And that's when I realized it is a TikTok.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it's so famous now and so funny
it
too. Yeah. Never back down, never what?
Mhm.
Never give up. Never back down, never what? Never give up.
And this is good advice, seriously. Never give up. Never back down.
Never.
Never
what?
And check out Vanity Fair and check out the Plot Pals episodes previous,
Yes.
new coming up. We got so many cool TV shows that we got to watch and talk about, movies, screenplays.
Yeah, that's
So,
so true.
check
Next episode is going to be about Sense and Sensibility. So
Check it out. I'm so excited. We're watching the
Yeah.
TV show. We're watching the movie.
Movie.
Reading the book. Yeah.
reading the book, everything.
Oh.
So exciting.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank
This was
you.
a fun episode. I appreciate
It
you.
was.
Also, I'm wearing red because if you watch the TV show, you will know.
Yeah.
And then you can let me know once you know. Okay, thank you for watching.
Thank
We'll let
you.
go.
Bye. Have a great day. Bye bye.